Welcome to Sew Denim Quilting. I'm Glenda Burton. In today's video, I'm going to update you on the progress of my 2022 temperature quilt and share my quilting life block of the month and our Riley Blake blocks. For January, we started on Saturday, so that gave me all of this Sunday through Friday. Here's Friday. Here's Sunday that didn't have any colors. So I went ahead and I used denim 2.5 by 5 inch blocks. And then I started with Saturday. And I decided to offset my blocks, so I added a 2.5 by 2.5 inch block. And I alternated every other week. So this is the first week. The second week I started my row. So you're down here. I started my row with it. And just kept alternating. Gives you more of a brick look. And as you can see, we've had negatives all the way up to 50s. So we've had quite a range going on so far. I decided when I did my last week of January, I decided instead of making a whole row again, a whole row where it was going to be all denim and then all denim up to here, I decided to just split my months with the 2.5 inch block. So instead of putting this on the ends, this will go between the end of January and the beginning of February. And I have been doing my rows, putting my rows together, and one week I press them all this way, next week I press them all this way. And when I sew them together, to try to make it line up, I start by pinning this end. So I'll pin this end. Use clips. And then I go, is that right? Yeah. You're going to line up here and here, and then this will be in the middle. So every 3 or 4 I clip it again to keep it together, so that when I go to sew it, I won't be stretching it. These are pretty stretchy. So that lines up in the middle there. So again, I like these little clips. They work great. So now that we lined up in the middle down there, these are going to line up in the middle up here. So you kind of make it line up with the row, like every other row. So you don't want them to line up with this row, you want them to line up with the above it. So this should come out. And there, and it will, it's going to. Alright, let me finish clipping this, and then I will go and sew it together, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you my added row. Alright, I'm back from the sewing machine, and as you can see, they staggered till we got to our 2.5, and then they started lining up, and that's okay. I'm fine with that, because it adds variety, and it'll go back to staggered when we start the next row. For now, we have, looks like a little extra bricks, 2 bricks together. So there is what it looks like through February, what is today? Through the 6th. And another one I found was localconditions.com, because sometimes my time and date one doesn't have, for some unknown reason, they'll be offline and they won't get the temperatures. So sometimes I go to localconditions.com and find out what the temperatures were as well. So I've got Sundays. Today is Monday, so I'll record that tomorrow. And then next Monday or Sunday, I will go ahead and take all my temperatures and sew them together and make another row. So that's my temperature quilt for 2022 to date. I'll update in March to see what it looks like. So the other things that I've been working on, I decided to follow along with Sherry McConnell of A Quilting Life, and I decided to do her blocks of the month. And she is going to have a turn dash around all the blocks. And so far, we have, here is January. These are my 2 January blocks. And then I did the February blocks. There's my February blocks. And I'm scrapping it up. I would just pull from my stash, and whatever I decide looks good or whatever catches my eye, that's what I use for the blocks. And I went ahead and, like she suggested, Sherry gave the instructions so that we could go ahead and pre-make all our turn dashes, so that all we had to do when she came out with a new block is make the block and add the turn dash. So here, as you can see, I have all my turn dashes ready to go for the next one. And I hadn't decided what colors I wanted to use for each month. So all I have to do for March is here's March, grab it and add it to the block once it's made. And the same thing goes for March and the big one. And again, I am doing both the 6-inch blocks, and then I am doing both of the 12-inch blocks. And so far, here is each of the blocks for each of the months. And they come out on the first Thursday. So the first Thursday of every month, I'm doing each I am doing both the 6-inch and the 12-inch, and I will link below her blog post and where to find the patterns so that you can join in. As I mentioned, I am doing the Riley Blake Quilt Blocks Challenge, and again, I'm doing scrappy. I am doing whatever. I'm picking, if it has 3 colors, I do 3. If it does, whatever it has, I try to pick something that I like to go with the blocks and what's in my stash. So here is block 1. And they have all the information for how much yardage that you need, and they have a color palette you can use. I'm just using what I have in my stash. My heart did not turn out like a perfect little heart, but you know what? I'm okay with it. It still looks like a beautiful little heart. This is block 2. Now, block 3, they had less colors. I decided to make mine all autumn colorish, going from green to brown. It looks very fallish to me. So there's my autumn leaf. And block 4 that's the tulip block. And it was kind of fun to make. I just, again, inspired me and whatever I thought would look good together. And some of you might like it. Some of you might think it's awful gaudy, but I'm okay with this. So, here are all the blocks through block 4. And I will link below in the description where to find the information to start those. If you would like to do it with me and follow along with Riley Blake. And this one comes out on Tuesdays. They do 3 blocks per month. So these were the first 3 blocks. And then this one here is the beginning of February. Thank you for joining me today in my update. I will try to update you periodically with the new blocks that I'm working on with Riley Blake and with Sherry McConnell, and show you what my temperature quilt looks like each month. It'll usually be into the next month. So February, I probably won't show it to you till first or second week of March, just because that's how it lands. Thanks for joining me. I hope I've inspired you to create with denim. If you've liked what you've seen, please click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future blocks, tutorials, quilting related items, or other scrappy denim inspired videos. We're going to turn these squares into quilts. We're going to turn them into pillows. We're going to use this. I've got some ideas coming up for using my scraps, the teeny tiny scraps. So hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so you can see the other fun things I create with denim.